I'm stuck in elo hell. I played Valorant for 2 years and I've never reached platinum. Like, ever. All this time, I've just been bouncing around in low silver elo. To add salt to the wound, some people that I played with in the past are now on diamond or even ascendant. Hell, some of them are even immortal. Yet here I am, hard stuck silver. I know clearly something was wrong with my gameplay. I don't really know yet what it is. But whatever it is, I have to fix it. And by fixing it, I hope to finally reach platinum. First thing I did was to check the gameplay recordings of my recent matches and then analyze it. In doing this, I noticed that I do have some explosive moments where I pop off and pull the most insane plays, for me at least.
One enemy remaining.
However, these pop-off moments are fleeting. For a 40-minute match, there'd probably be a 4-minute window maximum where I would pop off and shoot heads. And the rest is just me being a burden to my teammates. Bottom fragging, overcommitting, not communicating.
Any sound, guys? Any sound?
Miscommunicating, taking too long to rotate, rotating immediately.
Nice. I'm going back A. I'm going back A. Going back A.
Basically, I had the game sense of a monkey. I know it's not normal to be playing the game for so long and then barely improve, so I figured I'll ask some of my friends in high elo for their thoughts. Basically, their advice boiled down to one thing: consistency. You see, I play Valorant as a casual player. Until recently, I've never really committed myself to actually grind my rank. The most I'll play in a single day is 3 competitive games, and that's maximum. I was slacking. So, most of my friends advised that I play the game more often. And they also advised that I follow a set routine every day to refresh my mechanics and to be more consistent. For example, pro players like Tens, Sabrosa, Ye would do something like warming up in range and then a couple of death matches before even going to a competitive match. If these pro players have to do these routines, then how can I expect to be consistent without at least warming up my mechanics before I play? So, instead of my usual routine of opening up the game and then heading immediately into competitive, I'll follow an itinerary based on my friends and other pro players' routine. And so, my routine are as follows. First would be 2 rounds of 50 elimination bots. The first round would be done from the usual range position. Here, we can practice our aim normally from the usual point of view. The second round would be your choice. If you want to practice holding an angle from a higher vantage point, such as playing defense from A heaven or C platform in haven or B market in ascent, you can jump over the boxes to the left side of the range, then practice aiming from one bot to another. If you want to practice normally, then you can shoot the bots from the either side. After this, I would go for a round of hard bots. As much as possible, I tried to get at least a score of 10. Then, the last part of my routine would be a round of deathmatch. I'd need to get 10 kills with a sheriff before I move on to a rifle, preferably Vandal. After the deathmatch, I'd be ready to go. I would do this every day before I play competitive. And by improving my mechanics through routine and improving my overall gameplay by playing more matches, I would hope that I'd get out of my shit rank and reach my goal of becoming platinum. The first few games were dog shit. Sure, my aim has improved, but really, the game sense is not improving as much as I would like. Some of the matches that I won were mostly because I was hard carried by my teammate. Plus, the new controller Agent Harbor and the slight changes in meta came with the new app did not help. I also noticed that I catch myself looking at the minimap too much instead of the angle that I'm holding. This is mostly because literally almost no one uses comms in my elo. This is why we're susceptible to flanks. Still, I play it. For the most part, my teammates listen to my comm. In some of the games, I'd have to IGL. Personally, I don't want to IGL because I hated being responsible for the calls, but it is what it is. As much as possible, I wanted to have an impact on these games. One thing I noticed is I almost never play duelist. Most of the time, I play initiator or smoker, but not a duelist. I just don't want the responsibility. Choosing a duelist means you'd have to become the main fragger of the team. You'd have to be the first one to get into side, picking up early frags, playing off the team, and set the momentum of the game. I didn't think that suited me. I'd rather play a non-duelist support agent. And when my duelist screws up or doesn't frag as much, it would be easier for me to blame them instead. I'd say something like, why is Reyna not peeking? Why is the Jet going alone? Why is this Phoenix not fragging at all? You're the duelist. You're supposed to carry this game. It's always easier to blame the duelist, and I did. I'd wash my hands off any responsibility for us losing the game, because this is the type of mindset that I've had. the same mindset that separates the losers from the winners. Loser mentality is based on the fact that you always blame failures on others, or anything but yourself. Nothing is really your fault. By realizing this, I knew that this mindset is one of, if not the major factor in me not progressing my rank in the solo queue. And so, I have to change this. I have to change the way I think. I have to focus on myself instead of blaming it on others. Believe in myself. All I have to do is look at myself first. Valorant is a mental game. Your match performance depends on the current headspace you are in. If you're tilted, it is easier to lose games. If you're feeling confident, you will steamroll the enemy team. I know this too much because I've been at either end of the stick, so I'm very familiar with how much your current mindset affects your performance. With this in mind, I'm only training my mechanics, but also my mental headspace. And to be consistent in my mechanics and mentality, I'd have to constantly be playing the game to slowly build tiny habits that make a good player. And so, the next day, after doing my daily routine, I played as a duelist. And it was okay. I made some good plays, but more or less performing the same. And so I played even more, and saw myself slowly improve. By the end of the day, I reviewed the VODs, and I could see tiny improvements in my gameplay. And all of the crucial wins all went down to the decision making.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Honestly, these small improvements build up over time. I could see myself performing at a higher level if I just kept playing at this pace. Eventually, I got promoted to gold, but the challenge ain't done. I have to reach platinum, so I played even more. I noticed that in some games, people are using comms more often. We still make bad decisions in the game, but still, it's much better than not using comms, to be honest. Overall, I had better teammates. I figured that lots of them are formerly platinum by the way they played. However, this also means that the enemies were also better. I started getting one tap more often and see all these platinum players in the game lobby. Eventually, I had to up my game and sometimes do warm up in between matches just to keep up. I started to feel my aim get a little steadier, but not a vast improvement to my previous aim. The biggest improvement was my game sense, and I start to feel the improvement as I catch myself keeping up with the platinum players in the lobby. Comparing myself to a week ago, I saw a huge difference. I'm playing more, I'm performing better, and my mental headspace is better. I'm not afraid to play duelist now. And a tip of advice if you haven't done this yet. If your teammate is extremely toxic or he's tilting you, mute him. Just do it. That mute function is made so that you can use it for this exact scenario. His comms are not worth it. Just bring your A game and win the game with your plays. The huge difference this trick gave to my Valorant experience is insane. Part of the reason why I don't play Valorant as much as back then was because I'm easily tilted. So this really helped. It helps improve the mental state you're in while playing, so you're able to focus on the actual game. Eventually, after countless hours of torture, I was edging from gold 3 and I only have a couple of matches left before I finally promote to platinum. And so I played the last few matches like a madman. I was so ultra focused in the game. If my teammate had to bait me to get a double kill, then I'm willing to do it. If I had to make way and play with my utilities instead, I'm willing to do it.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Eventually, I reached platinum. I wasn't able to record the actual promotion screen, but honestly, I didn't feel an overwhelming sense of joy. I felt tired. I felt tired because of the journey and because it was 4 a.m. and I had to grind at this hour. But I was happy. More or less empty, but still happy. It reminded me of when I first reached gold. I was too engaged in the journey that the destination didn't matter much in the end. However, at that point, I almost didn't play anymore because I was afraid I'd immediately demote to gold 3 again. But I thought, what the heck? The next day, I played. And what the hell? There's literally no difference. Platinum players play just like gold. Not a lot of difference in aim and gameplay, in my opinion at least. The only difference I could tell was that platinum players generally feel extremely superior to gold players. New journey maybe?